Good morning. Just what I like. And it is indeed a beautiful morning. My name is Vivian Leonard, and I'm the Director of Human Resources for the City of Boston. And I have the honor of being in this position and serving the City of Boston. On behalf of the City of Boston and Mayor Walsh, I would like to welcome you to the first annual City Academy graduation. And if you just would indulge me for a moment, I want the graduates to stand up. Remain standing for a moment. Graduates, today you are at the crossroads of where hope and dreams are starting to be realized as a result of an opportunity that you took to attend, complete, and graduate from City Academy. And I could tell you that many of us on this stage know what that feels like, to have a hope and a dream and be given the opportunity to realize your hopes and dreams. And what I would say to you is that this is only the beginning. You must continue to prepare yourself for those opportunities that will continue to come your way in order that you would be able to step into them. And what I also would like to acknowledge is that this graduation it was supposed to originally take place on February 5th. However, we had the Rollin' Rally, and the Patriots won, right? Woo, woo! We didn't mind rescheduling for that because we were the beneficiaries of that. But graduates, to you I say, today is your day. Make the most of your day and continue to move forward along this path, because the future ahead is very, very bright for you. Thank you. City Academy came to fruition as the result of an announcement that Mayor Walsh, you may sit down, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna make you stand the whole time, sit down, thank you. City Academy came to fruition as a result of an announcement that Mayor Walsh made in his 2018 inaugural address. As I like to state, cities do not run themselves. It takes bold leadership and vision. Mayor Walsh, thank you for your bold leadership and vision in order to bring City Academy to fruition. City Academy is the collaboration between the Mayor's Office of Workforce Development, which is led by Tren Nguyen, and the Office of Human Resources, which is led by me. Our partners in this initial venture were the Boston Water and Sewer, led by Henry Vitale, Boston Housing Authority, led by Bill McGonigal, Boston Parks Department, led by Chief Chris Cook, the Public Works Department, led by Chief of the Streets, Chris Osgood, and last but not least, the Boston EMS Medical Services, better known as EMS, which is led by Chief James Hooley. A very big thank you to all of my colleagues in terms of making this program a reality and the hard work that went into making sure that we were getting it right for all of you. Thank you. A big round. City Academy recruited and trained residents from across Boston's diverse neighborhoods for entry-level positions that provided good wages and benefits, in addition to opportunities for additional advancement with the City of Boston. More importantly, we were in search of workers who would see themselves as public servants working daily to earn the trust of residents and businesses. And I'm very happy to state that this collaboration has resulted in 91% of city hires in 2018 making at least $14 an hour and being eligible for benefits such as vacation, sick leave, and health insurance. Why is that so important? You have to understand that just recently the state has passed a law that says by 2023, so within 5 years, we will get to the minimum wage being $15. However, once again, under Mayor Walsh's leadership, we are exceeding the expectations that we place on ourselves to ensure that workers are earning a living wage and good benefits. So that's really exciting for me, and it makes me know that this is the reason and my purpose for being in this position today, because I get the opportunity to enhance the lives of others and work for someone like Mayor Walsh, who has the bold leadership and vision. So I'm very grateful for that. Now I would like to introduce you to one of our partners that I knew from a past life when I worked at City Hospital, where City Hospital also had EMS as a department. He was not the chief at that particular time, but like many of you in the audience and many of us on the stage, he had a dream and he had hope. So when an opportunity presented itself, he took it upon himself to take an EMT course where he trained, passed the certification process, and obtained a job with the Boston EMS, where he continued to take advantage of opportunities and being prepared, so therefore he was promoted to paramedic. And then after that, he continued to prepare himself for additional opportunities and received several promotions along the way before becoming the chief of EMS nearly 10 years ago. And I'm speaking of none other than my friend, Chief James Hooley. If you could welcome him to the stage, please.
Wow, thanks, Vivian. Good morning, everybody. Mayor Walsh, and I'm sorry, I saw Councilor Flynn as well, Director Leonard, and Director Nguyen as well. Thanks for inviting me here today, and I'm very, very proud to be associated with this event. To the candidates, the Office of Workforce Development City Academy, congratulations to all of you, especially those of you who are in the EMT training track. Thank you for your dedication so far. In your path to becoming a Boston EMS emergency medical technician, and thank you to your families who have supported you throughout the training process so far. Just over a year ago, I spoke to Vivian Leonard. We were at an event in Brighton, and one of the best things about working in public safety service, in government, and particularly in this administration, is that everyone does work together a lot. We get to know each other. We're free to bounce ideas off each other. And one of the greatest things I've noticed is lots of times you need help. All you have to do is ask. And your partners in other agencies are happy to help out. It's a great thing. So it was just over years ago we spoke about, and Vivian, as she said, has been a friend for over 40 years, and I spoke to her about some of our recruiting challenges. And over the years, we've seen a decline in the number of candidates who apply to work for us. We have, in fact, a stringent hiring process, which first requires that individuals hold EMT certification, and that's a significant requirement. And then they have to apply, take a written and practical examination with us, and before they get a conditional offer, they have to pass a CORI, a drug test, a physical, as well as have a clean driving record. And it's never ideal for an employer to have a limited number in their pool of candidates to select from. But the most concerning challenge has been the impact that it has had on creating a workforce that is demographically representative of the city that we serve, including race, gender, culture, and language. For when a patient is in the midst of a medical crisis, having a connection with a provider can not only ease fear and anxiety, but can also assist in communication, allowing personnel to better understand a patient's symptoms, illness, or injury. So much of the care that we provide in the field, in homes, and in the back of ambulances extends well beyond clinical expertise. The conversation and the compassion we show to our patients can have a profound impact. So that evening, Vivian stopped me and she said, "You have to speak to Trin Wen about this because you have a need. She's got a program that can help." And later at a subsequent meeting that I remember Daniel Tavares from the mayor's office was at, when various programs were talking about OWD, he was saying, "And you have jobs at the end," which is the real gift in this. So that night, Trin was also at the event, and in a few minutes, this incredible idea in which we would partner and work together to recruit residents, train them to become EMTs, and meet our dire need for residents interested and eligible to work for us was born. This idea I spoke of with Trin rapidly took shape, and within just a few short months, her team was out recruiting hundreds of residents to apply for the EMT City Academy training track. Information sessions took place every week across our city's neighborhoods, drawing more interest in EMS than we have seen in years. Recognizing that we wanted to ensure candidates not only wanted to work for us, but would also be able to pass the EMT course and be eligible to apply for us, the Office of Workforce Development interviewed each person, checked their driving record, and proctored an aptitude test. We also conducted query checks, a physical test, and a drug test. 45 people were selected for a 3-week bridge course, and from there, 25 candidates received a scholarship for the EMT course, which started in August of 2018. Every Tuesday and Thursday evening, as well as every other Saturday, those of you who you saw standing here a little while ago came to the class. The investment of the Office of Workforce Development did not stop there. These candidates also received ongoing mentorship, and upon passing the upcoming state exam, you will be offered an internship with us. I would like to extend my utmost gratitude to Trin's team, including Midori Morikawa, Lynn Sanders, Stephanie O'Shea, Angie Camacho, and Herb Bond, as well as Kelly Folsom, and the training personnel at Boston EMS, including Superintendent Pearsall, Captains Ken Skarner, Captain Michelle Feedy, and Captain Naomi Waters, and to our Chief of Staff, Laura Siegel, for making this all possible today. To today's graduates, I hope that today instills a renewed dedication to see this process through. You're over halfway there. Ladies and gentlemen, I was immediately impressed by the spirit that this group showed. As a matter of fact, when I stopped up their first day of the EMT class, their enthusiasm almost had to be contained down a little bit because you weren't the only ones in the class. We had, 50 whatever, so there was a lot of outside people just, I signed up for an EMT course. Who are these guys? So I'm glad to see, and you still have it. When I've stopped by some of the classes, like over the months, you can see you've got that spirit. You want to belong here, and that's the most important thing. And so have no doubt, we want you to succeed. We want to see many of you on a recruit academy this spring. The success of this program will breed further success, and you'll have paved the way for others. It's a challenging road ahead of you, ensuring that you pass the necessary state certifying exams, and a couple of you already have. Congratulations. But it's ultimately a rewarding endeavor. There's an honor and privilege in serving others during their times of greatest need, and you'll be there when infants take their first breath and when others take their last. Thanks to the hard work and investment in this program, you will be well prepared. Congratulations. All right. I'm sorry, I didn't read the fine print. I was supposed to introduce somebody. But see, it's important that you study, right? And pay attention. Oh, well. But anyway, no, it's just real quickly, I have the great honor of introducing our mayor. And when I referred back before that the idea in this administration is that we all do try to help each other out, no doubt with everything Public Works, Parks, everybody else is doing. We all have needs, and we all are desiring, and we all have the message loud and clear. We want to draw from our neighborhoods. We want to draw and attract our young people. We want as much diversity as we can. We want more people who can speak different languages, everything. I mean, that goes across the board in the city. And that urge for us to all work together, really is under the leadership of one gentleman, and it's my pleasure to introduce him right now, Mayor Martin Walsh.
Thank you, Chief, and I appreciate your remarks and your words and what you've done with our EMT system in Boston. That has grown under Chief Woolley's leadership. I want to thank him. I want to thank Vivian Leonard from Director of Office of Human Resources, really committed to making sure this program is successful. Trin Nguyen and her team and everyone at the Office of Workforce Development who's focused on the issue of rising everyone equally across the city of Boston. I know our student speaker is going to be up here in a few minutes. Thank you, Adam, as well. I want to congratulate all the families and friends that are in this hall today. You should be proud of the graduates that are going to be coming up here in a few minutes, and I know I am, certainly as mayor. Vivian talked a little bit about 2 years ago in my second inauguration about wanting a strong focus on rebuilding the middle class. It's something that is really important for us here in the city of Boston. As you can see, that there's a lot of development going up around Boston. There's a lot of new homes being built in Boston. One of the concerns that we have in our city is that this economic boom and this prosperity that's happening in the city, it isn't and wasn't happening for everybody. And how do we make sure that that opportunity does present itself for everyone? And we created two programs. One is called Boston Hires, and the other one is called City Academy. Boston Hires is focused in the private sector, working with employers on job training, organization, and also getting people into jobs with living wages and benefits. And when I think about this program, it was a focus that we put out there that was the next step into making sure that families have strong economics, to allow families the opportunity and people the opportunity to be able to live and thrive in the city, raise families in the city, buy a home in the city, move forward in the city. One of the things, I was fortunate enough, my parents came from Ireland, so they're immigrants. When my father came out here in 1956 to America, he joined the laborers union. And he was able to get into a union. In the 50s and 60s and 70s, work wasn't always steady. It was a lot of unemployment, and there wasn't the boom that we're experiencing today. But what happened was, when he went on a job, he earned a living wage. And over his time in the union, over 40 years in the union, he was able to work on jobs that collective bargaining agreements were able to move him up into the middle class, where he was able to buy a home and raise two kids and support my mother and my brother and myself. We were able to have a home, we were able to put food on the table. We were never rich by any stretch of the imagination, but we had health benefits, we had health care. And as he got older in life, when he retired, he had a pension. And he was able to retire with dignity and able to have that pension. When he passed away, that pension was able to support my mother. And he also had Social Security that helped him there. And that was the American dream for my father and my mother and the immigrant that they were. The next generation, obviously my brother and myself, we learned from that. And it's important that when I think about as being mayor of the city of Boston, not everyone has the opportunity that my father did I'm not sure how he got into the union at the time, but I know that a lot of guys that came from Ireland joined a union, a lot of guys that came from Italy joined another union, and at the time was mostly men, and there was opportunities there. And I know that the Teamsters are here today, and some other unions are here today, and that's what the goal is. And the goal is once you're in those unions and on those job sites, that people respect and care about the worker. They take care of you. And what you have to do, what we're trying to do now, is bridge the gap to get people into that area where you begin that upward mobility. And it's important that as you do it yourself as individuals, but it's also important that the city helps you continue that upward mobility. And, Vivian talked about the minimum wage, going to be $15 an hour in a few years. That's great. But in a few years, that minimum wage is going to be obsolete again. And people aren't going to be, you can't basically raise a family on minimum wage today, so it's important that we continue with these programs to help you move into the middle class. And that's what the Boston Hires does, and we're going to continue that. And what we're doing here today also is we call on private employers to do the kind of outreach that we are committed to, and we're committed to in the city of Boston. We're leading by example and asking private employers to help us, making sure that we continue to do that. And that's what we're doing with City Academy. We're engaging people in our community. We're connecting them with the tools and the understanding and the training and the skills that they need to begin careers in the city of Boston. Because it's not simply just going on a website, finding a job and going for it, because a lot of times what the requirements are, it's intimidating. And people say, well, I don't have that, I don't have this, I don't have that. And it's about making sure that we help you, educate you on how to understand that the skills that might be on paper, you have those skills. You might not realize it or might not understand the way it's written, but you have those skills, and we need to do that. We're 2 years into this program, roughly. We've seen already Boston has already placed over 4,000 residents into quality jobs. That's a good first step. Our goal is 20,000 jobs by the year 2022, but we're not going to stop. But I want to thank City Councilor Eddie Flynn, who's here, who's with us today, because Eddie understands the importance too of upward mobility and making sure that we move people forward. The results of many partners coming together is important for us, and we need to continue to bring these partnerships to the table. Because as we see new cranes and new buildings and new companies, we need to make sure that there's opportunities for people that live in our city. People that might not have been born here, people that might have come from another place, people that were born here, people that came from other countries, making sure that these opportunities are happening. We have great employers. We believe that good work should be met with good wages. This isn't about nickel and diming the worker and making money for companies. This is about making sure that workers can share in the prosperity of companies as they grow here in the city of Boston. We have some great employers, Boston Medical Center, which hired more than 400 residents in the first 6 months of our campaign. There's an opportunity there. With those jobs comes health care. With those jobs comes a pension, a retirement system. It's important for us that we think about this and we think about how do we support the whole family. Building Pathways is a program that I was fortunate enough to start with Trin when she worked at the Boston Housing Authority before I was the mayor, with the building trades, predominantly people of color and women, to get them opportunities for careers into the building trades. Our third class, Building Pathways, a few years ago was 13 all women in the class. An industry that people say, well, there's no women that want to get into the industry. We found women that want to get into the construction industry. And those folks that are in those classes now are making good wages. The first graduates of Building Pathways are journey people, meaning that they're vested and they're working on jobs and they're earning the top wages in the different respective trades. And it's an opportunity to buy a home, raise a family, put food on the table, and have a good middle-class life. And that's something that we're going to continue to do. City Academy is also off to a strong start. All of you graduates in front of me and the ones that couldn't make it today because of rescheduling, because of the parade, have shown us that. This first class represents 26 Boston residents from 26 different families, from 26 different backgrounds, from all neighborhoods all across the city of Boston. That's a good snapshot of who we are as a city, right here. If you look at the front row here and look at actually everybody here in Faneuil Hall, it's a snapshot of who we are as a city. The careers you're starting will have a ripple effect into the communities, and also the careers that you're starting will have a ripple effect into your families and change them for generations to come, to be able to get on your feet and be able to, this is the beginning point. This isn't the ending point. This is an opportunity for you to continue to build on what you want to do in your career. It has taken a lot of people to make this happen. I want to thank all the folks that have been part of this conversation. The beauty about this, and I'm going to read off a list of City Hall offices, but everyone that's part of this conversation is really vested in making sure that you're successful and making sure that we hit that goal of 20,000 residents, because we know the impact of bringing 20,000 people into the city of Boston to earn more wages, have better working conditions, and better career opportunities. The impacts that that's going to have, not just on your families, but on our city as a whole. I'd like to thank the Office of Workforce Development, who runs City Academy. I'd like to thank all of our human resources officers in the city, Vivian and everyone that works with Vivian all across the city of Boston. We'd like to thank Boston EMS. Obviously, Chief Hooley is very committed. He talked about it today. Public Works Department. I want to thank our Public Works Department and all the folks that are in our Public Works Department and our Parks Department who have done a lot to make this program successful. That's the secret of making change happen. It depends on hardworking individuals like the graduates in front of me. It also depends on a community of people who support you every step of the way. And it's also on committed people who want to make sure that you're successful. You know, you don't have a name to a lot of the people in City Hall. People know there's a face behind that, and they know there's a human being behind that, and they know there's a family behind that. And that's why people are really excited about making sure that it's successful. I want to make sure that we can look back and see that there was a community behind us, the community that supported us, and that's what we're seeing in the city, and I want you to realize that. I want you to realize that there are people that you don't know that are in this room today that love you and want you to be successful. And they want to continue to have graduates come into this room and throughout the city of Boston and continue to do the great work that they're doing, which is really important. We're working to meet national challenges that affect every city in America. When I go to the U.S. Conference of Mayors and I talk to other mayors from other cities across America, the biggest thing we talk about a lot of big things. We talk about the environment, we talk about transportation, we talk about housing, we talk about economic development. But all of the things we talk about kind of have a common theme. And that common theme is making sure that the middle class has pathways into success in America. And we also talk about how that road has gotten narrower and narrower and narrower, and every day seems more difficult to see it happen. But what we have to do, and we're starting here in Boston, is making sure that that road that's narrow, widen that road, to make sure that there's opportunities for all and that we can continue to bring people into the middle class and opportunities for success. In Boston, we're rebuilding pathways. We're showing a way forward. The graduates in front of me, and this is for the people in the room, what I see is I see Boston. This is who we are as a city, and it's important for us that we understand that. We are a city for everybody. I'm not going to get caught up in identity politics, and I'm not going to get caught up in the rhetoric coming out of Washington. I'm going to say what we do in Boston. I see every race in our city. I see every gender in our city. I see every ethnicity in our city. I see every background in our city, and every single person in our city deserves an opportunity to be successful and to benefit from what's happening here. I want all working people in our city to have a job that can support their families. So when we talk about minimum wage in the future, we're talking about it for younger people that have an entry-level job into society. Not a mother who's trying to raise a child and is worried about minimum wage isn't going to cut it. Or a father and a mother worrying about making sure that there's food on the table to be able to send their kids to school. And with that dream of a college, maybe help them in college. We have to continue to work hard. I'm proud that you have taken the challenge. I'm proud of the work that's being done here. And I know that your success will help us strengthen and grow this program. So I want to say congratulations to our first graduating class of City Academy. We're going to look back on this day someday and think about how important this was. I just want to take you back when we started building Pathways, which is the pre-apprentice program for the building trades. I remember addressing the students or the young people that were in that first class. We had an 18-year-old in that class, and we had a 51-year-old in that class, and we had everyone in between. Most of the folks in that first class were living in public housing. Most of the folks in that class never made any type of money in their life. And I told them that first class that you're pioneers in this industry. And whatever happens with this class is going to be really important for the future of this program. When the graduation came 6 weeks later, I spoke to that same class and I thanked them for graduating that class. And I told them the impact that class would have on society and that class would have on the building trades for generations to come. That was about 7 years ago. The other day, we had a celebration at the Intercontinental Hotel where we had about 200 graduates of Building Pathways that were in the back of that room. These are 200 people that were making an average of probably $70,000 a year, that were raising families that were moving forward. They set the road and they set the bar high for the future classes that followed. City Academy, you're doing the same thing. You might not realize the impact, and we might not ever see the impact completely, but we know that everyone that goes through City Academy and everyone that's hired through Boston Hires is making an impact for your own personal family. So again, I want to thank you all. I look forward to seeing you in City Hall. I look forward to seeing you in the neighborhoods. I look forward to see you as city employees. I'm proud of that, not just EMTs. We have other city departments too. We have police and fire. We have public works. We have transportation. We have a whole bunch of different jobs in City Hall. We have a daycare center. We have a whole bunch of different jobs in City Hall. We have workforce development. We have human resources. We have city councilors. We have mayors. We have it all over there. So I look forward to making sure I look forward to seeing you be successful. And again, I just want to thank everyone who supports this important program. And to all the family members, I just want you to realize you should be very proud of these graduates today, because this is another step towards making sure of the future success of your family for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Now I would like to introduce our student speaker, Adam Abdul Musawar.
Hello, everyone. Hard to speak after the mayor, but I'll try. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Mayor Walsh, Boston employees, family, and friends. My name's Adam Abdul-Musawir. I went through the CDL City Academy track. First off, happy Black History Month. I'd like to thank the Mayor's office for providing these opportunities, acknowledging the hard work and investment in us from the City Academy team. As we all grow older and become more settled in our lives, I believe opportunities decrease. With the ever-changing job market and ever-changing job requirements, not having the right credentials and experience have left many of us unprepared for work demands of today. Some of us in our families, in our old jobs, mostly dead-end, offering no opportunity for advancement. We did not offer a pay which could keep up the cost of living in Boston. Many of us held 2 or sometimes 3 jobs, even like 4 or 5. At the time, these jobs took us away from our families and consistently stressed us out physically, emotionally. I now see the importance of finding skills in a career early and mastering it, yet I can't take back and tell my younger self to focus, dedicate myself, and do the work now. Also, in many ways, and for many of us, City Academy has been a second chance, a way to make changing careers and gaining credentials less intimidating and stressful. Because the stakes are high for us, we have bills, rent to pay, children, and spouses to take care of. Our CDL class has also opened up our eyes to branches and opportunities such as hoisting, hazmat, tanker, cranes, forklifts, union membership, public work jobs, water and sewer opportunity. All networking and site visits we had and all the connections we made are setting us up for success. Some of us even have interviews this week. A lot of us are even working. We had 13 in our class, about 6 of us here. The rest are at their jobs, so good for them. I'm also leaving here with extra financial knowledge. Many of us attended workshops and signed up for coaching through Roxbury Center for Financial Empowerment. So when we're making a little extra, we know what to do with it, how to use it wisely, save, and provide financial security for us and our families. Some of us over the years have had to take public assistance, cash benefits, food stamps just to make ends meet. Hopefully not anymore once we get started. We're getting jobs that make us more self-sufficient, financially secure, and jobs we can be proud of and tell our families about. We started with a 3-week bridge course that focused on things like note-taking, networking, test-taking, conflict resolution, and helped us explore and visit different city departments to let us know the union folks, like the Teamsters, they basically opened their doors to us, treated us like their brothers and sisters. Basically, it was like having an inside person who's like, like an uncle who already has a job and they're just telling you, this is how it goes. Also, Suffolk Construction let us use their facilities, showed us what their lives are like and what other opportunities are there as well, and opened the door for us, like open their house for us, basically. So thank you to them. But more than anything, the bridge course helped us get to know ourselves and one another. We reflected on our strength, tried to work on our weaknesses, and bonded together and learned from one another. These bonds were strengthened even more when we went to Parker Driving School, and these shared experiences built friendship and support networks that no one can take away. We have helped each other and others get jobs, picked each other's up, and when we fell down, celebrated each other's success like we're here doing today, and congratulating each other. The support and guidance we received so far will continue, and I'd like to give a special thanks to the City Academy team who has guided us along the way. Lynn Saunders, basically her first time experience and all the obstacles and everything, she guided us through it and put everything together, so thank you so much. Stephanie O'Shea as well is helping out with everyone in every backup position and anything. She could be there anytime she got a chance to help all of us individually. Thank you as well. Also, I'd like to thank Angie Camacho. She was like someone who's there every day for us. You can call her at her house at night. You can call her anytime, and just giving us good energy in the morning, always trying to push a little bit of financial empowerment a little too hard on us, but it was okay. Kelly Folsom right there, he's a real true teacher. If you ever sit down with him, he can tell you about his whole life experience and all the different jobs that he's had and everything he's been through to get him where he is. And his energy is definitely top notch, like something you would want to come to 7 o'clock in the morning after you've done like an overnight shift or after you're going to go to your job later on that day. So thank you. And everyone else who helped out, Amarfi, Herb, and also Jimmy Donovan, as well as Tom Folsom, who really just like held our hand throughout the process and did a bunch of things they didn't have to do and adjusted to whatever came our way, and just to kind of, this is a first time thing, and just to kind of get us started on the right path. So I can't be more thankful. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mayor, for coming as well, and the City Academy team and my colleagues and my friends. I appreciate that. It's like a second chance at making new friends at this age as well, so very grateful for that. I'm honored to speak here, grateful to the city, and a blessed opportunity to get my licenses and start work and provide better for my family. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Adam. That was a very inspiring speech. Now we're just going to hand out these certificates from the commercial driver's license and heavy equipment track, and also the EMT track as well. Just to let you know that these are certificates that are industry recognized, so employers actually see them, and they're mandatory for these jobs, so you have an inroad to obtaining these jobs. Secondly, these are what we call stackable credit credentials, so you can actually take them, and if you decided to get an associate degree and make good choices, you can use this certificate towards some credits so that you can gain post-secondary education as well. And those are the options that we have while we're designing programs like this. And as Mayor Walsh had talked about, this is only one pathway that we've designed. We've designed 12 other industry pathways to make sure that there are all these growth industries in the city of Boston. Every resident, no matter where you come from or how you got here, from no choice of your own, you have a chance to succeed. And this is what the city is all about. So I want to just name all the graduates. If you can come here and take your pictures, that'd be great. So we have Adam Musare, Jessica Arujo, Carmen Uviles, Ricardo Bokiva, and Leisha Ellerby, who are graduates of the commercial driver's license track. Also, I want to let you know that there were also other graduates, but they couldn't be here. So feel free to congratulate them as well.
I'm on you. Sorry. Congratulations. Thank you.
Also for the EMT tracks, if we can also have Cecilia D'Andrade, Kenneth Fitzgerald, Stephen Gonzalez, Melissa Holloman, Angel Leon, Lorm Leon, Jessica Miranda, Kyla Ruder, and Brian Yoon. And there are other graduates who can't be here today. Please come up and take your pictures and have your certificate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, don't go away. We need certificate in a second.
Great. We have all your certificates here. Vivian, do you want to close it while I hand it out?
What I would say is that it's not lost on me today that we're here in the historic Faneuil Hall, and we have Frederick Douglass, a statue over here, and Lucy Stone over here. This is a place where people actually came and talked about how do we create more opportunities by way of ensuring justice, ensuring that there's human rights, economic opportunity. All of that took place here. The mayor is doing a wonderful job in terms of ensuring that we here at the City of Boston are making sure that those things that were spoken about so long ago but still remain issues, and that we're going to keep pushing to ensure that these things will happen for our city, the City of Boston, as we continue to lift people up. And I couldn't think of any better leader to ensure that we're doing that than Mayor Walsh. Thank you very much for coming, and congratulations to all of the graduates.